Hey there. How are you? We're going live today, like it or not. Okay, there we go. Duplicate the ad. Yes. And Facebook switches things up. Facebook switches things up. I'm just reading Kelly's post in there in that comment. All right, here we go. We'll wait for a few people to join me today. I'm about a minute late. Hope you didn't just scroll on by. It's a hot one. It's a hot one. My air conditioner is down, so it's a little warm today in Florida. For me, anyway, right? And I got a new hairdo. I don't quite know what to think about it. It's a little short. What do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments. All right. If you're joining me today, say hello. Say hello. If you're catching this in replay, go ahead and make a comment for me. Put an emoji in there. Just let me know you put eyes on it. I'd appreciate it. And it helps the almighty algorithm gods, right? Today, we're going to talk about Facebook, talk about the algorithm gods. We're going to talk about Facebook, who is the algorithm god, right? I think they invented the word, to be honest with you. But Facebook is definitely something that hopefully you have come to grips with in your business, because if you haven't, then you're really missing the boat. You know, I hate to see a lot of agents dumping money into things like Zillow, to be honest with you, Trulia, Homes.com, Realtor.com. I did all of that. You know, of course, I was around when they were born and they birthed and they were new, right? And of course, when a tool is new, it's effective for a long time, even because it's new, right? I definitely put a lot of money into Zillow. And, you know, if you watch your numbers and you watch your lead generation very carefully when you're spending money like that on Zillow, you really got to know that it's producing for you. Okay? Because if it's not producing for you, that's something you've got to make the hard decision to ixnay, right? All right. Now, I'm going to just tell you a little story. You know, I think that most independent agents, when they're trying to build a sales force, they have to try to compete with the big box brokerages and provide all of the bells and whistles that the big box brokerages provide, because they feel like that's going to attract a top producer, right? Well, let me just shed some light on you. If you're an independent brokerage and an independent broker owner, them top producing agents, they're not going to come with you because of the tools that you offer, because they've got their own tools. Okay? Top producing agents have got their own tools. They learned early on that they need to get off their broker's platform and onto their own CRMs and their own websites to truly have their own businesses. Okay? So if you've got agents that you are, you know, nurturing along, if you've got a sales force that you are, you know, providing all these tools for, honestly, in my opinion, you're really just providing a crutch. Okay? You need to wean your agents off the tools. There, I said it, right? When you see all these agents running around like chickens with their heads cut off, looking for the best tools provided by their brokers or the best leads provided by their brokers, they're depending on their brokers, right? You don't want to ever put yourself in a position to depend on anyone for anything when it comes to building your business. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay. So if you have been sitting here all this year and you haven't closed anything this year, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. You know, you might as well rethink your business and either decide to commit to your business, invest in your business, invest in your education, and legitimize this business and get it moving forward. Okay. You can't afford to sit around wondering what to do all the time or what you should be doing. Okay. You should have a system in place for your business. You should have tools that you touch and work every day that keep your business completely organized for you. Okay. Now we're going to talk about some Facebook, but I'm going off on a little tangent here because I don't want anybody running Facebook ads if you don't have the proper tool stack behind it. Okay. That's the reality of the situation. I don't want you spending money on Facebook ads if you don't know how to bring a pipeline into your business and work a proper funnel all the way down. Okay. Everything has to have a touch point. Otherwise, it falls through the cracks. Okay. It falls through the cracks. And when something falls through the cracks, you're losing money. You got a hole in your bucket. You got a hole in your bucket. If data comes in your door and it stops, it's stagnant, it doesn't go from one platform to the next, to the next, to the next, all the way down your pipeline, because not everybody is going to come in your door and be on the same level. Okay. Everybody's going to have a different journey, and you got to have a funnel of tools in place that are going to keep everyone down the pipeline, wherever they are in their journey. Okay. In your world. That's what we're talking about. Keeping your data in your world. Okay. All right. I promised I was going to talk about Facebook today. Let's talk about some Facebook marketing. All right. Let's talk about some strategy first. And we're going to talk about laying out some SOPs. For example, standard operating procedure. This is kind of what I do when I sit down to do ad creation. First, you got to have your strategy laid out. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right. So not everyone's strategy is going to be the same. Don't ever fall victim to some Facebook guru or an ad agency that's telling you this is the only way it's done, or this is the best way it's done. Because if it's the best way, I tell you, it's got a 30-second shelf life. And then something else is the best way to do it. Okay. You got to cut through the noise. You have to understand the strategy and the concepts, that are involved with social media marketing. It is not like any other marketing. It isn't pulling a trigger and buying a digital product. It isn't pulling a trigger and buying face cream off the internet. It isn't pulling the trigger and getting a tangible object sent to you in the mail. Okay. So that, your conversion, isn't going to occur on a thank you page. Okay. Your conversion is not going to happen on a thank you page, right? The best you can hope for is to drive those people down your funnel and collect their data and develop a relationship with them so that when they are ready to do something with their real estate, you are their go-to person. Okay. Thank you. Who is that? That might be Kelly, right? Is that Kelly? You just got a Facebook user here. Right? I mean, you have to understand that a lot of these Facebook gurus are designed to, produce results for tangible products that you pull a trigger and purchase. Okay. That's my point. So first you have to understand the strategy. And you have to understand how Facebook works on their algorithm. Okay. Now, if you have an opportunity, for example, I'm just going to use this as a simple example, but you need to expand this thought across the board. All right. You're out there banging it out on your personal news feed, all your social proof, all of your promotions, right? Because you think that's where the engagement is. All right. You do that because you have no idea the power of Facebook and the power of retargeting. Okay. Now I say that because if you knew the power, you would focus on engagement on your business page and engagement with your business page. Okay. Now, if you're friends with me, for example, This is the example I'm sharing. If you're friends with me, you probably see me sharing a Halloween meme posted to my business page first and then shared over to my personal page, right? Because that post originated on my business page, all of that engagement that is occurring on my business page share is juice for my business page because that's where the post originated. So it's the one that is picking up all of this engagement, and Facebook puts all of that engagement into glorious buckets for us. Okay. You have an audience for every touch point on social media, Facebook, for example. You have a touch point for all of your website pages. All right. So all of this glorious traffic that is generated gets retargeted with an invitation to your website to come register. Okay. So that's theoretically your strategy. Okay. You're going to touch a cold audience, retarget it with a warm ad that invites them to your website and allows you to capture their email address. Okay. That's the concept. Now, once you have your strategy and your concept decided upon, your next step is your creatives, right? This is where you could really go down a rabbit hole. And we're going to talk about various different types of ads. Okay. Yes, it's Kelly. Okay. We're going to talk about different types of ads because you can get very creative on the different types of ads that you can create as well. And take a look at the ads that you see coming across your own news feed. Take a ride down their funnel. See how they have their ads structured and how it makes you feel. Okay. All right. So let's talk about our creatives first. Obviously, you have Canva. You can pull all of your graphics right out of Canva. And when you do that, I want you to think about who your avatar is for that particular ad. Now, we think in terms of marketing for buyers or marketing for sellers. You want to think about how you want to dip your toes in that. Now, you can absolutely have a different ad for every different avatar for a different concept, right? I've created ad campaigns targeting possible mortgage forbearance, right? That's the message I put out there. That's the graphic that's in there. That's who is going to be attracted to that. I've put out ads for probate. I have put out ads for buyers. I've put out ads for sellers. I have put out ads for people who are motivated to buy homes for their dogs, people who are motivated to buy homes because they were just recently married, or maybe they are expanding their family. You've got to look for the motivation behind your avatar and speak to that. Okay. So once you have created once you've pulled your graphics out of Canva, then it's time to go play in ChatGPT, if that's what you use. That seems to be what mostly everyone is using. I use a different copy service, but they're all the same for the most part. Okay. Here's a little hack. Go ahead and go to your chat service, take a look at your images, and give the prompt to chat to create Facebook headline descriptions or ad description for buyers who are motivated to purchase because they have just had a baby. Okay? Boom. Tell chat what you want. Be very specific. You can say in a persuasive tone, invite people to the website. Be very specific on your chat prompt. But tell it to give you 10 variations, right? So that you've got something to select. All right. And then click the chat button and let it roll. It's going to spit out specific verbiage for that particular image. Okay. So do that. Now, once you've got your ad thought out, You've got your graphics selected. You've got your verbiage. You've got your promo. You've got a call to action. I want you to make sure that it follows a particular format. You want to be, you want to have a story. You want to have a summary and a lesson and a call to action. Very short, precise, 3 to 5 sentences at the most, if you can. Statistically, Facebook functions better or gets a better response with a shorter verbiage versus a long. Now, I know we see long verbiage all the time, and that's mostly for cold audiences, I believe. Okay, so start out maybe with a longer script, more detailed, and on a cold ad versus on your warm ad. Okay, that's my 2 cents. Now, is there anything, Kelly, specifically that you wanted to talk about, or any changes specifically that you had some concerns with? And I know we have a coaching call later this afternoon that we could probably dive deeper in it, but I just thought I'd ask, and maybe there's something I can share here for the group. Okay. But once you've got your ad thought out, you've got your graphics pulled, let's talk about the different types of ads that you can create. Okay. Number 1 is the video view ad. That is still very popular. It's still the best performing type of an ad, right? You create a video in Canva. You can create a video. You can create reels. Everybody knows how to create videos today, okay? Create a video of yourself, right? And put the money behind that. That's the hardest thing you'll probably ever do, I promise you. Because when I had to put myself in the ad and put money out and put it out there to the world for my coaching business, it was kind of scary. It's easy to use stock images, but if you really want to get to know your audience, or if you really want them to get to know you, put something out there on a video of yourself. Okay. I want to go over the creation process. Okay. All right, good. We'll do that together. All right. So video view ad, a video ad is the still most popular type of an ad. It's going to build the biggest audience the fastest for you. Okay. Now, I did read an article the other day, which did surprise me, that they have determined that the static image ad is now also performing very well. Okay. So that is, when we say a static image ad, that is one image, right? One image. They click on it. The call to action is typically on the image itself, big and bold, and that is performing well. That's what I've read recently. Okay, so try it. All of these things, I honestly think they just rotate it around. Say, okay, this one's performing well now, and everybody rushes over there to that. You know what I mean? I want you to decide to stay the course on whatever you decide to do, and you have to tune out the hype. Okay. Once you get your strategy down, once you decide what you're comfortable with creating, stick with it. It's okay. All right. And experiment as you go. All right. So video view ad is one type of an ad that you can create. I have a favorite ad, and I'll show you. I'll bring it up just so I can show you. I'm going to share screen in just a minute, but I run a carousel ad, and that performs very well because it requires you to scroll. Okay. So you have to understand that anything that requires the consumer to touch the ad, view it, click on it, scroll it, spend any more than 5 seconds on it on their news feed. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. All right. So that's what I want you to understand is anytime that you create an engagement, that goes into the bucket of people, okay, that you can retarget. So I'm going to share screen real here so I can show you an ad that I'm running that's a carousel ad. And I call it a Super Bowl ad because it's so generic that you could keep an ad like this running as long quarterly. I mean, really, as long as you want. This one's been running several months for me now. It performs well. There's no real reason for me to change it. I have tested it a few different directions for Facebook. I have tested, they wanted me to test some other platforms with it, so I did. And nope, my ad still performed best, so that's what I'm sticking with. And let me get to where I can show this to you. Facebook ad and comments. If you go there, you can pull the ad up. All right, this is what the ad looks like, of course. And this is the carousel. You have to click through it, and you can see that each one of these cards is a different city. Deltona Homes for Sale, the Land Homes for Sale, Orange City Homes for Sale. And I think the reason why it performs very well is because you can see, half of this second image, and the consumer knows that they've got to scroll through to see it. And I just happened to find 4 images of this couple. You can see they're all slightly different looking at their computer. And I kind of envision them looking at some real estate listings. And it looks like they have finally decided that they could actually pull this off, right? And buy their first home. That's what these images say to me. So that's what my images or my words say. Let's see what upgrading your lifestyle could look like. Take a peek at the newest listings to hit the market. All right. This is a Super Bowl ad. It is so generic. It is, subliminal. Okay. This ad could run and it wouldn't offend anyone. All right. It isn't time sensitive. It's out there. It's a Super Bowl ad. It can be out there just tootling around the internet for you. And this is called a carousel ad. Okay. Now, coming back here, I'm going to jump over here to what Kelly and I have recently been talking about is creating the form ad and using forms. Now, if you want to catch a bunch of leads, a form ad will do that for you. But let me caution you that you might get more business than you can handle. You will get the data, that's the truth. And they may or may not be very motivated or quality buyers. Now, that's okay. If you need to build your list and build a pipeline in the beginning, I would have started out. I run a few form ads. I don't need to anymore, in my opinion. It's not part of my current strategy. But in the beginning, it was. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like these will perform better if maybe you've got something solid to offer to get them to click. All right. They're not going to click to get their home value. Okay. Let's just be honest. Home value ads are not, they can jump on Zillow, they can get their home value. That's where they'll do that, right? I don't ever see those ads performing well. So don't waste your money on home value ads. Kelly, for example, is a flat fee. She runs a flat fee brokerage for everybody else out there. And she could offer a discount, $50 discount. You can too. You can offer a $250 discount off your commission, pay for your appraisal or whatever you want to do. Something that is a compelling offer that they will want to click on. And if they're ready or considering selling their home, that would be something that would get their attention. Everybody loves the discount. Okay. Even if it's just $250 off, a 3% in commission. Okay. You're here to get the business and get in front of them. And then you can sell your value and your services. Okay. You have a carousel ad in mind. Good. All right. We'll work on that then this afternoon. So the form ad, again, let me just continue with that because that is designed, you can program, you tell Facebook, I want to generate a lot of leads or quality leads. And it'll give you the option to either auto-populate their information when they click on that. That's how you're going to get a lot because all they got to do is click on it. Facebook's going to grab it and send it your way. right? Whether they wanted to look at that ad or not. That happens to me all the time, right? I'm just looking at the ad and I want to blow the image up to see it a little bit better. I touch it and it's captured my information. Okay. So I'm not really interested in it. Get scooped into their email list and it'll go in my junk mail and then it gets cleaned out eventually. Okay. So that's the course of action there. If you want a more quality prospect, make them fill that out manually. And then you know that they really want to come down that funnel. Okay. So there's a little hint for you. Same concept applies to driving traffic to your website. Now, I can't tell you how many times a guru or somebody else has tried to tell me, oh, well, if you're just driving traffic to your website, that's not capturing leads. That's not grabbing as many leads as if you did this form ad. But, trust me, I did the ads, and yes, you can absolutely build your list that way, but they're not going to be as quality as someone who has seen your Super Bowl ad 8 to 12 times and has generated enough curiosity. They're going to click on that, and then they're going to see the list of homes. Now, let me share again one more time with you what happens when they click on an ad, a Facebook ad. Okay, so here's my Facebook ad, for example. And I've got my call to action here. It says shop now. Facebook really prefers learn more because they feel like if you click on it, you're going to learn more. I'm putting shop now. I wish they would just have, visit our website or something like that. But this is the funnel and this is the goal. Now, I want you to understand that you're not paying Facebook to capture leads for you unless you are running a forms ad, right? The objective on this particular ad is a traffic objective, all right? Which means I am paying Facebook to deliver the consumer to my website. That's it. That's all Facebook is being hired to do. Drive the consumer to my website, to click on this button, okay? Which means when that happens, for example, they're going to land on the website, period. That's it. I've paid Facebook. Their job is done. In order for me to get this lead captured, the next step is up to my website, okay? That's why this website needs to look like a beautiful carrot that's handling in front of a vegetarian, okay? A beautiful carrot in front of a vegetarian, because it needs to be inviting. It needs to be easy to navigate. It needs to be consumer friendly. I don't want to see a map. I don't want to see a search for homes. You don't want to land somebody on your website and then make them search for homes. You want to land them on the page of homes. I search every property in Deltona, every property in DeBerry, every property in DeLand, every property, whatever your search custom home search links are, that's your landing page. Okay. So I have paid Facebook to deliver the consumer to this page. And then my website needs to perform from there. Okay. So I want you to understand that. That's why most people will get upset, because they feel like, I don't get any business from Facebook. Well, you're either using the wrong objective, the wrong graphics, the wrong verbiage, or worse, crappy graphics and crappy verbiage, no call to action, a crappy landing page. I've seen agents spend money on ads that have sent them to an MLS listing sheet. There's nothing there for them to capture that lead. So you have to think through this entire process and understand what you're paying Facebook to do. Okay. You are paying Facebook to create that know, like, and trust through a subliminal message, because there is nothing better for subliminal marketing than Facebook. because people are just, like robots. They are standing there with their news feed on their face in their phone. Okay. So what better opportunity than to put your ad right in front of them? Okay. All right. Any questions? Anything I missed? Yeah, I think, Kelly, that carousel ad it performs well for me. It always does, because on the phone, I've noticed, of course, on the iPhone, for example, the first card is there and half of the second card is there. So the consumer sees there's another card behind it and they will naturally just swoop. Okay. So when they touch that ad and swoop it over, okay, that you've hooked them into your audience. All they have to do is touch your ad. All right. So I want you to keep that in mind, right? That's why it's so imperative to build engagement on your business page. So if you've got something funny, if you like something, if you see a cat video that you laugh at, share it to your business page, not your personal page. Share it to your business page, okay? If reels are most popular, reels create most engagement, share your reels, everybody else's. Share every other piece of content that you enjoy to your business page. That's where the party needs to be. Okay. So when somebody comes to that, they see that, they touch it, they like it, they engage with it, it's going to be juice on your page. Okay. And create, of course, organic content. Obviously, that is better. I'm not going to say it's not. Okay. Driving, so can't pay attention. Came in late. But what do you think of listingstoleads.com? I don't, I stopped a long time ago dabbling with all of these different platforms that they don't do any better than what you can do. Okay. I think I shared in the group the other day an image of someone's Zillow results from 2 years ago versus today, and the leads that they were receiving. And, they were getting nothing today versus what they were receiving 2 years ago. Okay. So you have to understand that if the market is in flux, okay, that's the reality of the situation. Zillow, Realtor.com, Listings to Lead, they don't magically produce business that is not there. Okay. So if the market is slow, if the market is in flux, if the market is pivoting, those platforms are going to feel it as well. I promise you. Okay. Their lead promise, they make all the promises in the world, but they will not be able to produce because it's just not there. Okay. So don't put your money into these platforms if the business overall just isn't there. Okay. They've got no magic bullet. The only thing they've got is a bigger advertising budget. Okay. That's it. Okay. And when you bring it down to a micro level, what I call a micro level, which means you plug in your office address, your home address as your target point, and you go 15 miles around your point of contact, that's your micro market. Okay. That drills down to your micro market, 15-mile radius. That's the smallest they'll let you go. You have to have a minimum 15-mile radius. Trust me, before the special ad category, I would drive ads down to a neighborhood, right? A neighborhood, a 1-mile radius around my open house, a 1-mile radius around my new listing, or a 2-mile radius. That's my comparables. That's my market for that particular house. And then they made us come to a 15-mile radius. So everybody is included, right? So think about that. You can drill down, and your messaging can drill down right to your hometown and be very, very specific. And when you have a 15-mile radius in your ad, you've got a smaller audience, right? Your budget can go farther in a smaller audience. You don't need to blanket the whole county unless you want to. You know, I don't recommend real estate agents do that unless they're willing to travel. You know, I do that because I'm a brokerage. You know, you can too. If you're a brokerage, you might want to target your entire county. I do target up to 50-mile radius on some ads, but some ads I drive down to a 15-mile radius. So it just depends on what you're marketing and what you're drilling down to. Okay. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Nicole is doing well. I got a really great email from Nicole. And of course, Nicole's been with me for a long time. So she's telling me she's averaging 1 to 2 listings consistently in her market. And, you know, while everyone around her is struggling. And, you know, her and I just sit there and shake our heads, say, yep, right? Yep. Because you need to have a foundation in place for your business for these times, right? The market is never always just like this. It's never always just like this. It's either up or it's down, or it's a buyer's market or seller's market. And you have to have something that can stay consistent. You have to have that consistency, whether it's a bad market, good market, you know, does not matter. Those things have to stay consistent in your business. Okay. You've got other projects that can come and go, you know, other projects that can come and go based on markets, you know, like short sales, for example. You know, that's a, you know, that's going to be a very small window of opportunity. That's going to be maybe a 3 to 5 year window of opportunity for short sales, for example. Same thing with REOs. I did REOs for 12 years. Those are windows of opportunities, you know, but even as a REO listing agent, I still had a consistent baseline that never changed, never changes. I've done my system for decades. Even when the technology wasn't there, I still had my basic systems and concepts. All right. What do I mean by that? Before the technology was there, right? I still have a box of logo note cards that I had printed when I first opened my business 23 years ago. I still have note cards, right? Because I have been sending handwritten note cards for 23 years. Today, I send it on a platform with technology. I don't handwrite them anymore, but the concept is the same. Okay. I started out my email list with a little ad in a rag newspaper that we have, a penny saver newspaper. That's where we used to do all of our marketing, was in the print rag newspaper. We call it a rag newspaper because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the journal or anything like that. It's just a little classified ad newspaper. And that's where we did our marketing, right? And, you know, call me for a list of HUD foreclosures. I knew in the year 2000, when I started my business, that I had to build an email list. Or before it was an email list, it was actually a mailing list, you know. But I put the ad out there to get onto my list to get HUD foreclosures sent to you weekly. And literally, I remember doing this. The HUD list would come out on the HUD website every week. I would print the list, I would print it, and I would stuff the envelope, handwrite the envelope, and mail it out. I got to the point where I had like 25 people I was doing that every week for, and it got to be too much. Like finally, I figured out how to email it. And I'm like, okay, this is much better, right? Then I figured out an email list. Then I figured out how to build an email list. And let me tell you what, your business is going to come from your email list. I guarantee you every single time. All right. If you get that email list up and running and you do it the right way, and I'm not talking about canned email crap. Those who know me well, right? I do not do canned email crap. Okay. That is no. All right. All right. But you can build your whole business with just your email list, right? I promise you. Okay. All right. Any questions? Let me see what we got here. I'm thinking about getting a box. I'm thinking about getting a box of cards for Thanksgiving to send to our investors who let them know we are thankful for them. That's nice. But I'm going to promise you this is a one and off project because you're going to try and do it by hand and you're not going to have a system for it. So this is going to be a one-off project for you. You know the system to put this into, right? So that you can do this consistently, not just one-off. Okay. If that's Nicole, sorry, if that is Kelly, I think that's Kelly, right? You know what I'm talking about. Google SEO, good. Is this Nicole? She was telling me in her email she's gotten a couple from Google SEO was working for her too. I actually went ahead and took a look at my business page on Google. I don't look at Google. I don't care the first thing about Google, but I did go ahead and, look at my Google page. I updated it. And of course, there's nothing on there but people bitching on their reviews. So I put that out in my email list to give me a couple good reviews. Pop that up, that changed that for me. So that was fine, although I don't focus on it. But Nicole was getting a few. Good. Yeah, Kelly's business focuses on SEO too. Google SEO. Good. Yes, love that. Girls, we've got that office call on the 18th. If you would like to collaborate, you can all jump on in the membership group and collaborate there. Okay. The 18th, look it up. It's in the members group. Okay. Good. Love it. Okay. From out of the area. Good. Yes. Yeah. Google definitely, if somebody's going to jump on there, they're from out of the area. You've seen my famous last words. Friends don't let friends Google for real estate services. I'm a firm believer in that, right? Get your referrals. Okay. Well, I think I've unpacked quite a bit for Facebook marketing ads. Like I said, I don't want anybody running ads unless you've got the tool stack behind it to bring it all in and bring it on down the pipeline. Otherwise, you're just going to be blowing money out the door. Okay. Facebook ads is the last thing I want any of my students to really focus on. We start with the low hanging fruit because we need to get some business going first in a lot of cases. And if not, then we work our way up and we create a whole pipeline and a whole funnel system. And let me know if you have any questions about that. Reach out to me. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you all go. Okay, good. That post got so much engagement. Which post was that? I know we did. I can't remember. I know we did it. We all copied it. I can't remember what it was though. Anyway, go ahead and tell me when I see you this afternoon. I'll let you go. Have a good day. Bye-bye.